Wake up, everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty.
James Thomas is here to tell it like it is. Here to talk education, politics, business. James is here for real talk without the yelling. Real issues and solutions. This is Tell It Like It Is with James Thomas on 1300 WTLS and 106.5 FM. Online at 1300WTLS.com.
Welcome to Tell It Like It Is. I'm your host, James Thomas, and here's part 2 of social media and today's youth. And I brought back those guests you all talked about 2 weeks ago. Chuck Jackson, Candace Anderson, and Gregory Tobias. Correct? Taboris. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
We had a lot of great responses to the show. Believe it or not, I don't know if I told you, but I really don't push YouTube at all. I use it as a way to store my videos.
Right. And
we got a lot of hits on YouTube. I mean, it was, Chuck and I looked at it one night, and it was already over 124 views. The comments that came in to talk to Alabama was really, really positive. I didn't get one negative response. A lot of people was very pleased with the information you guys provided. Some were kind of shocked, but a lot of positive response came about Candace, and Candace somewhat still in the show with positive information, not being in a negative way. They really liked the information you provided. It was very helpful for them. I know a couple of parents from the show have actually stated they're going to institute a 1-hour rule to their kids as far as use of computer and start instituting a lot of family time, a little bit more family time or socialization. One lady was saying now she wants her kids to be enrolled at the they bought a membership at the YMCA to get them out and more active. So we got a lot of good responses, but again, to piggyback on what we were talking about, we were literally not putting down social media, but focusing on how social media can be a problem or a hindrance to youth of today. And talked about some of the issues that we are seeing as parents, as concerned adults with our youth. And again, I'm going to let these individuals talk about their background so you can understand we've got a very diverse background here on the show today to help you understand how you can better manage your children and their usage of social media. So we're going to start with Gregory. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Gregory Taboris Taylor. I'm the CEO of Taboris Intelligence Asset Group. Been married for over 20 plus years. Did about 11 years in the federal government. Sales background, and I decided to start this training company because I saw a lot of our future generation lacking the social and interpersonal skills that they're going to need long after we're all gone.
Right.
Just basic day-to-day decisions that they're going to need to make, and they don't have the coping mechanisms to deal with stress, rejection, anxiety, making new friends, and what have you. So that was first and foremost was dear to me. And I saw that, hey, I can make a difference, and I'm taking that next challenge on making an investment of helping our youth deal with some of the things that they need to deal with.
I'm C. Anderson, and I'm a licensed clinical mental health therapist, and I'm also an abuse expert. I work with a lot of people in recovery from sexual assault and domestic violence. I'm sorry. And, goodness gracious, early. So I work with just general mental impairments like anxiety, depression, life events, transition, and such. And that's pretty much what I do.
My name is Charles Jackson. I am a youth minister. I have been a youth minister nearly 20 years, mentoring kids, guiding them, also setting up tutoring programs, just making sure that kids have the tools that they need to make it spiritually, physically, emotionally, and education-wise in this work. Because if we fail to give our kids those tools, then we fail them as a community. And so I still believe that the church should be one of the founding blocks or foundation blocks of the community group. And it starts with mentoring and educating and leading our kids. Many people say that the church, that the youth are the future of the church. That's not true. The youth are the bloodline of the church. They are the very essence. So you find a congregation that does not have young people in it. It's a dying congregation.
That's true. That is true. You know, a couple of headlines earlier before you guys came in. I was telling Greg how a lady was convicted, young lady, 17 years old, was convicted 4 years for manslaughter, texting while driving, and she literally hit a family that was on the side of the road, killed two. She deleted the text messages. Actually, it was Messenger, Facebook Messenger thing. So, of course, even though you delete it on your phone, it's still there. Another individual was convicted. She was 18. She ran into somebody, pushed them in, but the individual was killed. And she was Facebook Live, where basically she's streaming, video. Mm-hmm. So basically, what we were talking about, this is getting out of hand. You know, Atlanta. Greg was telling me Atlanta just passed a law where now if you caught with your phone and everything in your hand or tablet, literally in your hand, you can be charged. Yeah, and so we're seeing a problem that is just getting out of hand, running rampant. You know, some of the feedback that we were getting was where people were now saying they're taking a harder look at their youth. Matter of fact, the parent that I talked about on the show, we spent a good 30 minutes last week talking, and she brought her daughter in to meet me. And so we talked about how her daughter, and I think I shared with you how her daughter was being manipulated on Facebook, and how this individual from Georgia was manipulating her to do a lot of things that shouldn't have been done. Right. And so now her daughter is utilizing, taking a more adult approach to utilizing Facebook. And she's just 18 years old, going off to Baylor University. So now she understands and really is taking a good, strong look at herself as well. And hopefully we can pass some of those things on to her peers. Absolutely. Where they won't fall into that same boat. But one of the things I had asked, we had 3 questions. What are the issues that exist when it comes to younger people and these social media accounts? And we're not trying to, again, to put any social media platform down, but Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+. These are social media platforms that these kids are using. And I know I'm not even touching the surface. There's names I haven't even heard of yet. You guys shared some things with me last week that it was like, whoa, and I literally had to go and look them up because I had never heard of them. So there's so much out there that we probably don't even know about, that our kids know, and these guys are taking advantage of. So, and let's pick it back off where you left off with sharing that your profession was probably one of the causes of a lot of the youth going into the mentality of where they're at now. Well, with regards to putting, we're labeling these kids ADHD or bipolar and things of that nature, and they're probably not. And I was glad you shared that with me because I had a long chat, a very, very long chat with DHR, and they actually know it's a problem. They know that this is a problem, and they're trying to find ways to tackle it. But because of the, I guess the law, they got to really, and not only the law, but the resources to also investigate the issues. So they're having a problem, but they know that it is a problem. And so it was, and believe it or not, I had a co-host, she's a new co-host named Melissa Curry, who was supposed to be on the show today. She's been out of town. She's from DHR. She's going to be here today. But she actually opened the doors and shared some individuals I needed to speak with. And they provided stuff. It was a big education for me to know that this is existing. You know, you hear a lot about it, or you hear rumors, but until you actually know it, it's there. I don't take it for gospel, but now I know that there's a problem, and that's part of it. That's where a lot of these kids are going. And not only is it affecting social media, it affects schooling. You know, Dallas County has a 65% dropout rate. 65%. Wow. That's sad. But I can guarantee you those kids will be on Facebook, they'll be on Twitter. You know, we were hanging out, just talking to some adults, and a bunch of kids would just come up and just start taking pictures and don't care how they look, and just post it on Facebook, post it on any social media platform, and not taking the consequences that could happen with them posting those pictures. I mean, these are young kids. But what can we do to, you know, we talked about a lot of the issues. What can we do to help bring a positive atmosphere, bring back family time? You know, one of the things I think is in the, I added as a commercial where the textbook, Coca-Cola did a very, very special piece. I asked them, could I use it, but they denied it. But that's something you guys might want to take a look at. The way Facebook talked about, Coca-Cola talked about social media. But I did put a couple of pieces in our show from last time about social media, and it showed everybody, the family coming together, and everybody at the table eventually coming around, and they're all on their social media platform. Nobody's paying attention to each other. So I used that as one of the ads to hopefully, and that came from Ad Council, because they're really taking a push about social media and spending more family time. So it's a big, big issue. Big issue. Go ahead, Candace. Let's see where we piggyback from you. Some of the issues that exist.
I don't even know where to start because it's just so many that can be. Because we know that access to social media, not just the social media part, but also just the screen time.
Right.
So on your cell phone, on your tablet, that it can impact your brain development.
Well, let me ask you this. Why do social media have so much of an impact on our kids?
Okay. So I think with any trend, you know, kids are going to be attracted to it. So when I was coming up, what was it? MySpace.
Right. That's the only one I can think of.
I think I wasn't, and it took me a while to even get, I think Facebook came out in 2005. And if you all remember, when Facebook first started, you had to be in college to be able to use it.
That's true.
You could not register without a university email address because it was for being in touch with your cohorts on campus.
Exactly.
And then around, I think it was like 2007, Facebook opened up to anybody being able to use it. I didn't even start using it until about 2009. But I think that it's appealing because you get an opportunity to control your own narrative. So even though my life sucks, you know,
Right.
I can't, and I'm just
No,
saying,
you're right.
yeah,
You're
right.
Yeah.
But even though life sucks, I can control what people see and make people believe,
True.
you know, and that's all a part of rejection as well, right? So I think you mentioned earlier about kids not being able to deal with rejection. A friend of mine who's also a therapist in New York, she posted yesterday about there's a new application called Venmo, Venmo, and it's kind of like Cash App, right? So it allows you to split the cab rides, bills, but there's another component to that allows you to see who they're splitting the tab with, how much they've spent, where they've been. So they're seeing a lot of young people coming in needing therapy for anxiety because people are going, oh, my bestie and 3 other people went out to the Hamptons and they didn't even tell me.
Yeah.
And now I feel left out.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah. So more and more, we are giving people access to everything that we do.
True.
Everything that we do.
You know, it's when you talk about access, I come from a community where it was forbidden for me to be in the picture. Literally. That's when I was in the government. I was not allowed to be photographed. So here I get out of the government and family want to take pictures, and it took me maybe 3 to 4 years before I was comfortable being in pictures. Now, I take a group shot, like if I'm at a football game broadcasting and I take a picture of the fans and I post it on Facebook, and Facebook, this is no lie, it named everybody in the stands.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. So I deleted it thinking I hit a button because I'm still normally I have the interns of somebody else working my Facebook account. So well, maybe I did something wrong. So I go back and I reload it. Wow. And then I find out they got a face recognition program. And I come from federal law enforcement, and that program is better than the federal government.
Right.
Or any local law enforcement agency. And believe it or not, it was the Boston Marathon. People probably don't know, but it was their Facebook recognition that helped them solve the Boston Marathon problem.
Yeah.
The thing with social media is it's really not a new concept.
True.
Okay, so let's say that a kid was on punishment last night and did not get to see the TV show that came out last night. And when they get to school, guess what? Everybody's talking about the TV show
Right.
that James, you missed out on last night. And now you feel like, I'm not in the know.
Right.
I don't know what's going on. So that anxiety builds up, or that I'm left out builds up. So it's the same thing with Facebook, is that anything that's posted on Facebook, if you did not see it right away and be one of the first ones to make a comment on it, or as if you are the authority to know what the conversation is about, then you're not in the know. And so people then, your peers talk about you, you're not on Facebook,
Right.
or somebody else comes to school and now they on some brand new social media.
Right.
And I'm the first one to know about this.
Yeah.
So all that anxiety goes around these kids. And I mean, they got 10, 12, 15 different social media outlets. So how am I going to be on all of those?
But let me ask you this. How do kids that are, like, I try to talk to my son, and And his response to that, I ain't got time to even answer your question. I'm working.
Right.
I'm trying to make some money.
Right.
But how do kids that don't utilize social media in that manner, do they feel like they're not part of the in crowd?
I would say some of them.
Or what?
Some of them might, but then I believe it becomes a parent's job to build them up in other ways and other places in their life. So they need to be, really connected face to face and interactive in other ways so that they don't feel like, because, and this was something scary I realized a couple of years ago. So I'm very cautious about the stuff that I post as far as like photos and things.
Right.
There are people right now that have your picture saved in their phone.
Yeah.
People that you don't know that have your picture saved in your phone. Your kids' pictures saved in their phone. That is disturbing. So these are the kinds of things that we need to share with our children so that they understand that, it probably is good that you're not active, in that way. Kids, again, I think I mentioned before, because they don't have the ability to conceive the future like adults do. Just because of the way their brains are at this age, they don't understand that stuff is out there forever.
Yeah.
It's out there forever.
You mentioned that. I was at a local Blockbuster when it was open. And I don't know why, but it's like I can't miss nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary because at that time, I could literally tell you all the license plate numbers, where they came from. And it was just, that's because of how I was groomed in government. And so I'm watching this lady in front of me, and wait a minute, just something ain't right. So I said, hey, I think that lady took a picture of your credit card while you were standing up. So the employee went and questioned her, and of course she made some nasty comments back. And what happened was a police officer had just showed up to get a move in. She told her, and he forced her to look. She had 22 credit cards in her phone. 22. Wow. And so and the way she did it was so smooth. And you wouldn't have known. Had you not paid attention, you wouldn't have known that that woman was taking pictures of the credit card. So it goes to show, and this is a common occurrence, because had I not seen that, the guy was asking strange, what made you think she was taking? I physically didn't see it, but the way her phone was angled, remember how I was talking to you about photographs? The way her phone was angled, she wasn't reading the phone. You had to be utilizing the picture and the way I knew they didn't know each other. So it always bothers me when I walk up to the counter, don't walk up behind me. That's the worst thing you could possibly do. Don't even come next to me. And that's just PTSD. I'm going to just be straightforward. Right. So, but that person was up on them and looking at this individual and had 22 different credit card accounts. So they ended up arresting her, and it was a big scale. That little one-time incident, which was just, hey, I seen them take a picture of a credit card, turned out to be a major investigation. I still have the newspaper clip because it turned out to be a huge fraud scheme.
And that's when you see something, you speak up.
Yeah, but then it goes to your point about the social media, how these people are having pictures of you.
Where you frequent, and where you live, and
you pretty much tell everything about yourself.
Yeah, the geocodes in your picture, you don't have those turned off,
Right.
so you're giving people real access to
For
your
free.
life. Yeah,
You give it to them for free.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have this turned on where Facebook knows who you are.
It's live. Oh yeah,
And,
no doubt about it.
and then you have people posting on social media, hey, I'm in London today.
Yeah.
Well, who's at your house while you're in London? Advertising that. There's nobody at my house but me.
But that's true.
Nobody at my house because I'm in London.
That's true. And see, a lot of people don't realize, watch this, if you're in advertising, and you're advertising with me, you're probably not going to see a negative response out of me. That's just the nature of this business.
Yes.
I hate to say it, but I'm not going to be writing bad about Facebook.
Yes.
You know, that's somebody else.
Yes.
So that's common in our business. You'll be surprised how much, and Facebook pays a lot of money for advertising.
Yes.
It's a huge client.
Well, what Facebook does is that, like for my business or for the church for that matter, for your show, if you have a business page on Facebook, and they don't charge you with service, I don't know why.
Right. Yeah.
Or they can actually tell you when you visited, how long you stayed on the page, what you looked at on the page, what days you spend more time, what days you come to the page. And you can you can get all that data for free if you're a business.
Yeah.
And that's not something that you can pay for on radio, TV.
Yeah.
You get that type of data back for you. So social media does have its advantages, but it does have its drawbacks if you're not socially adapt to what's really going on.
Yeah, I think with the advent of anything, it's going to have drawbacks and advantages. But it's important to know how those drawbacks, impact you as an individual, but also as a community. Because now there was like you said earlier, there was a young lady, this happened maybe a year ago, where she was in the car. I'm not sure if she was, high or intoxicated, but she was in the car with her sister driving and streaming.
Wow.
And hit something. The car flipped over. Her sister flew out the car. The whole time she's still live on Facebook. Her sister is dead. Head just gashed open. And she's still screaming, "Oh my God, I just killed my sister. I love you."
Right.
And I'm just like, or the video where the young guy was in a car with two of his friends, and he was shot in the car. And then there was just another one where there were some young people, some teens, having sex, which they say led to a mistaken identity murder in the Bronx a couple of days ago.
Right.
A 15-year-old kid was killed by 5 grown men, stabbed with machetes.
Right.
So, and the reason I can kind of say all this, and it's definitely painful, but this stuff happens every day.
Let me ask you this, as one in the professional standpoint, how do you approach your kids without going into that kid feeling like you're just taking their world away?
Oh, they do.
It seems like it's going to be a big problem.
They do. I think it's no different than when you have a father that is in the ministry, or a father or mother that are in law enforcement, or a father and mother that are doctors. You see things, you see the after effects of real life decisions. And so naturally, you don't want your children to go through and experience things. So you're going to be hyper vigilant just because of what you see every day. So with my daughter in particular, because she, is a teenager and she'll be going off to college soon, I'm like, look, this is real life, and the consequences of this are such and so forth. But she also understands that if she does get into trouble, you call me first. You don't call your friends because they only know as much as you do.
Right, that's true.
So you call mom. And we'll worry about, repercussions and punishment later, because first and foremost, your safety and your being okay is first. So she knows that. But that's not to say that that she's not going to be apprehended apprehensive, about, because that's never easy for a kid, right? But I'm very honest with her about the things that I see, about the circumstances, and she's going to make mistakes. She understands that. But I have to believe that I've raised her, and she, and me and her father have put in the work, and now have to trust her to go forward and use what we've given her. To use what we've given her. And when she has an issue, she can always come home. I don't care what it is.
Well, that's not the norm. Is a lot of kids who turn to social media don't have those daily human interactions, conversations with their parents to do a mental check to see where they are. Because everybody's going through something.
You're absolutely right. And when I look back and having the opportunity to talk to different colleges, just so you know, I've spoke with people at AUM, Alabama State, UAB, and Candace, Chuck, Greg, myself, we're like 1 out of 2,000 or 3,000. So the rest of them, that we're going to hit maybe 4 or 5 people that are doing the right thing. And you got that 90% or 98.9% that we can't touch. That's out. They don't care.
That's true.
Don't care. And their parents want to do the right thing, but don't have a hold on their kids to get that in or instill that in.
Well, see, that started early.
Yeah.
So that's a problem because that was a problem before.
Right.
So when your child is 2 and you're already putting a tablet in their hand, here, watch, Nick Jr. or whatever,
I call it cooking on an iPhone.
Yeah, like
cooking on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, having kids is easy. That's the easy
That's
part.
the easy part.
But parenting your child is a lifelong commitment and dedication. You are raising another human being that will go on to interact and impact other people in this society.
Exactly.
So if you can't take the time for your 2-year-old to cry, to be upset, and you're always trying to pacify them because that's normal development, normal emotional regulation.
Absolutely right.
But you're always pacifying this child with this tablet and a cookie.
Right.
That is a problem. You need to check yourself as a parent.
Right. With that, we're going to come back after these messages. I want to thank you for tuning in on 1300 AM, 106.5 FM, and those who are viewing us live.
Social media is great. It connects you to the world and the people you love. You can chat with your family or share a meal with friends and watch cute little cats do unbelievable things.
Look, she sticks her head out of the box.
Look, she sticks her head out of the box. But there are times when social media can get in the way of the real world. Remember that? It's the thing that happens when you run out of battery. That's why we've developed the Social Media Guard. It takes the social out of media and puts it back into your life. Let's see how it works. The Social Media Guard. Get yours now.
I'm kind of a social media nerd. I'm also kind of a burglar. The couple that lives here posted online that they're out of town, so I'm turning su casa into mi casa. And if you share every detail of your life on social media, this could be you. So get Allstate, where agents keep you protected from mayhem. Like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
There are a few who move toward the sounds of chaos, ready to respond at a moment's notice. And when the time comes, they are the first to move toward the sounds of tyranny, injustice, and despair. They are forged in the crucible of training. They are the few, the proud, the Marines.
My name is Corporal Bradley Joseph Seitz.
Captain Joshua Brandon.
Bob Murphy.
Kate Weber.
Jerry Reed.
Will Sanchez.
And I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
I have PTSD.
I thought I was losing my mind.
Everything just fell apart.
I was still in a war zone in my mind.
I felt isolated. I felt alone.
And I made a choice. I made a choice to go seek treatment.
Treatment has definitely helped me. Treatment has turned my life completely around.
It was like the new beginning for me.
If you're tired of dealing and living the way you are right now, then do something about it.
Quit beating yourself up and go ahead and help. You know, that's basically all I can tell you. But you know you need help, so go get it.
And we're back. Today we're talking about social media and today's youth. Again, my guest is Greg, Candace, and Chuck. Before we, well, actually, while on the air, off the air, Chuck wanted to enlighten us with some information. I'm going to put him on the spot. Now, Chuck, let's talk about parenting. You mentioned off the air.
I said, you know, from first grade to 12th grade, we take English every single year. And there's a time there that you are covering the same information for many, many years. And the teacher's going to do the same thing here. It's the same thing with parenting.
Right.
Is that we have to teach them these things. And it's not yearly. It's daily. It's weekly. It's monthly. These same lessons over and over and over again. But what happens with parenting, parents is many of our parents grow weary in teaching our children and teaching their children. And so they feel like there's something wrong with you because I've been teaching you this for all these years and you still don't get it. So I'm going to take you to the doctor. Doctor, give him something to help him learn this information that I'm trying to teach him because I'm tired of teaching.
Right.
And so what happens with a lot of parents is that they give up parenting.
True.
And they decide, well, you're 13 now, or 10 now, you know what's going on, so they just stop parenting. And so what begins to parent our kids? Social media, TV, their friends, everything else is doing the parenting. And then you want to know when little Johnny gets 15, how do you start selling drugs? You start parenting.
Yeah, true. Let me ask you this. What do you think is an acceptable age for youth to have a cell phone? Or a tablet?
Oh, my. I think it depends on the child. I think maybe when they get to high school, 10th grade, But it depends on the child's maturity level. I think that has a lot to do with when you do anything with your child. Is can they handle the situation? Even your parents say, "I'm gonna let you start driving the car now." That you have to show some responsibility in order to be able to drive the car.
I think it's important to remember that we're not giving that cell phones are not just phones, right? So it used to just be all they could do was make phone calls. It was a phone. But right now, it's really the world in their hand, and it's dangerous.
Very.
So my thing was, I was not arguing with someone, but I was having a debate with a woman. We were talking about how there should be policies, no phones at school. And the woman was like, I need to know where my child is, or I need to know what's going on in case there's a school shooting. The likelihood of your child's school being a victim of mass shooting is very slim, right? But then also, I was raised, you need to be where you're supposed to be when you say you want to be there.
Exactly.
So if you have basketball after school and practice is over at 6 o'clock, you need to be in front of the building so I can pick you up at 6 o'clock.
Absolutely, exactly.
So cell phones give kids like unmitigated access to do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. Because all they have to do is text or call mom and say, hey, change the plans. No, none of that. There's no change the plan. You said you were going to this place at this time with these people. That's where I suggest you go.
Right.
So I would say, for me and mine, maybe high school. So maybe 13, 14 going into high school. Maybe. But your 8-year-old does not need a phone.
True. What I did is I utilized the driver's permit. You need to be 15 years old to get a driver's permit. You don't get a cell phone at 15. And during that time, we were utilizing the flip phone. So you really didn't have access to all the stuff that you have now. But that's basically how I utilized it. Until you turn 15 and show good judgment, then we'll discuss it. They had everything else on the other amenities, the GameCube, the computers in the house and all that. But as far as the cell phone, especially with a camera, I made sure that they were 15. Because I took my nephew in. He was having some problems with my sister, and so I said, let me bring him home for the summer and instill that man in him. So I just so happened to pick up a cell phone, which I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not one to start delving in somebody else's information. But I didn't like what had popped up. And it triggered that eyesight like, whoa, wait a minute, let me look at this again, make sure I'm seeing it correctly. And sure enough, I was. There was another teenager, he's 15, she's 15, sending new pictures. And it about different races, which was extremely, you coming from Texas, you're in Alabama.
Yeah.
We don't play that.
No. Yeah.
There's a line you just don't cross.
Right.
And so I had to really instill in him, hey, dude, you slip it.
Yes.
You on a slope that you don't want to be going to. And so it took some, and when I say it took some real parenting, because he had never had some leather, he got introduced to some real leather that night.
I know.
And I can guarantee you he's doing very well today. Very well today. But it took a little leather to get him to wake up and say, wow, I better change my whole mentality and my way of thinking. And today he's not a huge social media type of guy. Neither him, his brother, or his sisters.
Good. You said something that really has triggered in my mind is we've gotten away from old school parenting. Yeah. And the reason we've gotten away from it is some of our generation say, I don't want my child to go through the difficulty and hard times of being a child that I went through. But the thing you're not looking at is look at the finished product of you.
Exactly.
You turned out all right.
Yeah.
But now you want to change the format to make it, I want to be more parent friendly to my child.
True.
I don't want them to grow up the hard way I grew up. So I'm going to be easy on them.
Yeah.
No, you're going to stop parenting.
Right.
That's a huge mistake.
Yeah.
Because if you let your kids know how tough you had it, drinking out of a water hose, you know, going outside playing all day, just be home when the street lights come on.
Yes.
Taking a spare motor, old lawnmower, and making a go-kart.
Yes.
Crashing
Yes.
it.
Yes.
You figured out that you need to put some brakes on.
Yes.
Taking a bike, rim, and making a basketball.
That's right.
You got a whole court now.
Yes.
We've been having hands.
You don't remember that? Yeah. You don't remember that?
I didn't grow up with hand sanitizer.
No.
And nobody got sick.
Nobody.
Oh my goodness. You know, we just washed our hands the old-fashioned way.
With so long.
Yeah.
We shared a can of
no water like water hose.
You know,
You got it right. It's a water hole and it's cold.
It is.
look, and the four of us would share a can of Coke.
Yeah.
And we were all happy, right?
Yeah.
You know, but now everybody got to have their own separate. Just wrap them in bubble wrap is what I say. You know, if you don't want them to be.
We're raising our kids to feel like they're special.
They are.
And the
They
world
do.
says,
Yes.
no, you're not.
You're unique, but you're no different than anybody else.
Now, let me kind of twist it in just a minute. An individual made a comment they were talking about lawmakers, and I'm gonna take that situation and throw it on our youth. He said, now wait a cotton picking moment.
Mm-hmm.
And they made a big deal out of it, that it was racist. But that was, to me, I didn't take it as being racist. It's a common statement.
It is. It is.
I mean, they blew it out of it. It's on all over the media right now. He had to come out and make a total apology. This was yesterday. Wow. I mean, he was on Fox News. It was awful. I mean, they were about to, his informant status is still under.
Oh,
exactly. So it was Fox News, his name. And I forgot who the guy was that but he was black. But that's all he said. And it was, blown way out of proportion. But that is also something I'm noticing with our youth. They're so, it's like everything we say or do, we got to be real careful about how we say it. Oh, if I say it with a little bit more bass, I'm frightened now. He scares me. And they label you.
Yes. Yes.
I don't see it. You know, we're trying to say how we can fix it. I don't even see that it's going to be able to be fixed at the rate things are going.
And the reason that the problem of trying to fix is this. Okay, so I feel if you said something or did something wrong to me, guess what I'm going to do now? I'm putting this on social media right now with your picture.
Did you see it, Candace?
No, but I'm just looking at the origins of the phrase right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm putting you on social media that you did this to me or said this to me. So now it's not just he said, she said. I have it on video.
Right.
I'm posted up on social media. Now the whole world knows what you said, but all I recorded was what you said.
Exactly.
I didn't record what I said.
Yeah. True.
And so it put a negative connotation or a negative light on what you're talking about.
Now, to answer your question, I don't think we've gone past the point of no return. I still have hope in humanity. Is that we can sit down and have a difficult conversation and have some positive outcomes. If we just throw our hands up, you be mad and I be mad, we both go to our corner without even Hey, James, can I talk to you for a minute? I heard you said something. I want to get your side of it before I go on social media.
But you know what? I feel we're making ground. I was so pleased with just we got 64 comments, 64 positive comments. But then I look at the real numbers, it's like, it's over 30. Watch this. We have 350,000 listeners and viewers of this show. 350,000. I only got 65. So that's where I was like, wow, I got a lot of work to do.
And we all do, James. We all do.
I got a lot of work to do.
We all do.
So that's where I make that statement. It's like, man, what can I do to really reach a lot? And it's not like I'm not hitting them where they're at. Because this show, the minute I hit, we're done, and we edit it, it's on a massive email blast, and I can tell you that's over 15,000. We're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Reddit, Pinterest, Google Plus, Vimeo, YouTube. The minute I click a button, it's all there. And each one of them carries 20,000+ each one.
Okay.
Include live stream, which is again, that's 350,000. So, 64,000.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Okay.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Hang on with all that.
Now, let me give you a stronger number. Of that 350, we're reaching 200,000 plus high school and college students.
Okay.
Because this station is strong with high school and college students because we do high school and college sports.
Okay.
So we're hitting the right people, the right players. But I don't know if they want to hit a message that we're saying. So that's what, because all 64 comments were adults except one. And that was one college female. So I was like, wait a minute, something is not right. Because what we're talking about is important. And I got the right audience to listen, both adults and the kids themselves. So, help me out here.
Okay, so you go ahead.
You're talking to a generation of people that's trapped in the virtual world.
Yes.
You know the saying that young people like keep it real?
Yes.
They don't want to keep it real.
Okay.
Okay. Social media, in the virtual world, they can be whatever they want to be.
You're right.
And now you're asking them to go on the record and give you a true assessment of how you really feel. What you see in the mirror is who you are. Yes. They don't want to be who they are in the mirror. They want to be what the dog is and the long tongue and all that other stuff, the sprinkles and all that.
Right.
You know, I'm like, are you okay? You're 35 years old and you're acting like a 5-year-old. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with that picture. And now the 15-year-old is seeing the 35-year-old do what they do. So now they're even more confused. So when you build a house, you got to go down to the bedrock before you lay the foundation. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
So if something's wrong with the foundation, I don't care how many bedrooms you got, how many bathrooms you got, how many flat screens you got, whether you got marble or granite, that house is going to shake it down. Wow. So we have to have this difficult conversation and just be who you are. Even identical twins don't have the same fingerprint. So we all different.
He is absolutely right. It's not that they're not looking at it. You know, they will comment on it because
I know
it's sexual. They're seeing it.
I know they see it.
It's just they don't want to comment because it's in their wheelhouse.
Yeah. And it causes them to look at the things that they want to hide.
Yes.
Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to look at the ugly stuff. We want to be, palatable and
feel good.
Nobody wants to dig in deep. We're a very superficial type of world, a very superficial type of existence.
Do you go to work or come home after a hard day's work or week and just want to pull your hair out? Because you're in that profession where you're seeing these people on a regular basis.
There are times I love the work that I do. Most of the times I'm able to leave it at work in that capacity, and I do my best in the moment. So I always feel very satisfied with the time I spent with people, right? But there are times when I'm hearing the same issue or problem repeatedly, I become very passionate about it and wanting to do something. So it kind of mobilizes me. And there are times where I'm just like, God, if people don't get this, whatever this is at the moment, if people don't get this, they're going to die in one way or another. Maybe it might not be a physical death. But they're going to essentially be living below their potential, living below this beautiful life that's there for the taking, and that bothers me.
It bothers me too. And you said something, not reaching their full potential. Believe me, I see that all the time.
Yeah. There's so much, there's so much bondage in that lifestyle, being tethered to the opinions of other people, living for likes.
Trying to please other people.
When I look at our two colleges today, the two biggest professions right now is nursing and social workers. And I see all these social workers, and I don't see us making a dent in the social work community. Wow. I don't see it, because we talk about the subjects, and believe me, nobody dedicates a lot of their show, like I do, to social workers, whether it be Social Workers Month, whether it be mental health, whether it be fostering kids. We do a great deal, tell it like it is, working with social workers and trying to help in some form of capacity. And I still don't see the intent. And it bothers me, because it's like, wow, it takes a village to raise a child. Villages are there. We ain't raising that children.
No, James, but I have to want my child to be raised by the village. And we have now, I don't want you to say anything to my child. I'm the only person that's going to correct my child, and I'm not doing a great job of doing correction.
There was a video on Facebook. That's it. A video on Facebook. This is a woman, young black female in a store with her son. I guess the son looks like he's about maybe 12 or 13. And there's a male clerk at the store. And he yanked the boy up, took his belt off, and started whipping him because he was stealing. He was like, I told you, if you came back in this store and you stole again, I was going to whip you. And the mother was like, don't be hitting my child. What you doing? And I don't whip my children. Like, I'm not an advocate of that, because I understand that, and that's just my personal preference. I don't, you do what you do, right? Whatever works for you. That's just out of practice in my home. Because for me, I'm about discipline. And spanking for me is not necessarily discipline. That's me. Okay? But there's some children that might need to be, an option, and there are guidelines on how to do that appropriately, right? But in this particular video, it was just very interesting, because when you have an absent male presence and you are raising a male child,
You talking now?
That's another can of worms.
That's a whole other show. Right.
So I'm sorry, and this is no disrespect to single mothers who have male children. You cannot teach that male child how to be a man.
You know how many times I tell women that?
You cannot.
I tell them that all the time.
Can you raise him to be a contributing member of society? Absolutely. Can you raise him to be respectful? Yes. But you cannot teach him how. You can't teach him how to be a man more than somebody can teach me how to be a car.
Let me show you something, Kevin. 2 nights ago, I watched a guy walk in to a grocery store. His girlfriend in the back, and he walked in first. That caught me.
Yeah.
And then on the way out, she opened the door for him.
Oh no.
I almost slapped the face off this man. You don't know how angry. And see, that goes to show. Women teaches women, men teaches men. And I don't care, and I applaud single parents, especially single women, but you can't teach a man.
I've been there.
To be a man. And I'm a big strict advocate of that.
And there are men out here that are raising their daughters. And they still need a woman.
Thank you.
Just like we can't teach a woman to be a woman. So that's just the nature of just who we are biologically. So I'm sorry, just one more real quick point. And this is just my theory, but I've seen it over and over and over and over and over again. And I've experienced it in my own family. When you have a woman that is raising a male child, it is so often that male child becomes her companion, becomes her pseudo boyfriend. We tell these little boys, you're the man of the house. No.
My little man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not only that, but then you get these boys that grow up to be adult males, and they want to enter into relationships with women. But not even that. But not being able to hold a relationship like a male, like a woman wants a male to do. So then this adult male, right? So then the woman that he's with is saying, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're not doing that. He's looking at her like, well, I'm not the issue, you're the issue because my mama says I'm doing just fine. So then the woman becomes the problem, in that dynamic of the relationship. I remember when I was really, really young, a young teenager, I dated a guy who was raised by a single mother, and I expected him in this relationship to be a man, to be a father.
Yeah, basically.
He didn't do that. And if every time something happens, he ran to his mother. And his mother was, my son this, my son that, or I need my son to do this. So it creates a very unhealthy dynamic. And now you got these grown boys walking around.
That's it.
Grown boys walking around.
Still with the umbilical cord.
Yeah.
True. There used to be uncles and aunties that stepped in to, when there was not a father.
Exactly.
Or there was not a mother around. Aunties and uncles or older cousins would fill those roles. Take this boy fishing.
True.
Take this boy out cutting grass. So take him out farming. Yes. Yeah. But as I said, and it was what the panel is saying here is that we don't want anybody saying anything to our children and correcting them. Yeah. Because I think what parents think that if you have to correct my child, it's a direct reflection on my parenting skills.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's very accurate, but everybody needs help.
Everybody.
Everybody. needs help. And we have this whole, independent lady syndrome. And see, that type of independence is very different from being effective. There is a difference, right? So if you aren't an effective individual where you are being responsible, knowing when you need assistance, knowing when you need help, but your independence is wrapped up, well, I pay my bills, I got a car, I got a house. That's two totally different things.
Nothing to do with no man.
No, that's two totally different things.
Sounds
And
good.
so, right. So it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're adulting, but that is not what that is about. So when you get that kind of mentality, I raise my kids on myself, that's not the way we were meant to just as human beings. That is not, we were not meant to be isolated and live on, an island. We are the sum total of our experiences and who we are. And each of us has a little bit of Miss Jackson down the street, or our third grade English teacher, or the word from, the pastor, whatever you're thinking maybe. That's little pieces all throughout.
Yes.
So if you believe the lie that you can do this on your own, you're doing more detriment not only to yourself, but to that child that you're attempting to raise.
What I would say to all the women out there that's doing an admirable job, doing unfortunate circumstances, you should not ever give up your woman's cause for no reason at all. God put us here for a reason, to be your protector, a provider for you. Why you want to give up that card and do all the manual labor? Okay, be the protector, the provider, the one parent, and all that. My wife has a friend whose son is now 21. Dad left his life when he was 7. And she said something one day that almost made me curse. Why didn't you get a Father's Day card? I grabbed the phone from my wife and I said, is there something wrong with you? Father's Day is for fathers. Mother's Day is for mothers. Even though you raised him, pretty much he's still not his father. And she's been married with me about 10 years.
She'll be all right.
I'm like, how do you get to that place though where you have this delusion that I'm independent, I'm single, I can do this, I don't need nobody.
Because what that is that's a protective barrier.
Okay.
And what that does is say, even though I'm by myself, I'm okay.
I got it all together.
I got it all together.
Yep. And you just challenged that.
They put on that mask.
You just
put on
challenged
that mask.
I can do this by myself. And there's nothing wrong because, like, we've been doing this for years. We've been raising kids by ourselves. Yeah. We've been doing it for years. There's nothing, so there's nothing wrong with that. But it's important for you to understand that you have limitations. And that's human and that's fine. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you less than.
No.
It just is what it is.
That's right. That's right.
So when you need that additional support, ask for it. It's fine.
Awesome point.
1 minute. Last word. Chuck, each one of you get 1 minute. What would you want our audience to know about social media?
What I want our audience to know about social media is parents, do not give your authority, your influence away to your children. You have to keep it. No matter, and one thing the kids want, they may not say they want it, but kids want structure. They want structure in their lives. They may not like it, but they do want structure in their lives. And they are looking to you for that structure.
I would just say that don't let social media become their reality. Let them stay grounded in reality so that they know how to function. So don't let that become what's real to them and what's important to them. Because it's not real.
Right.
You have a list of 1,000 friends, and you can't tell me one thing about any of them. and that's your plan. Yeah. So just stay grounded. Stay grounded in reality.
That's true.
What I would say about social media is that you have to have a healthy balance with that and your birthright, which you're going to have to deal with family, you're going to have to make new friends, you're going to have to deal with difficult people. That's just life. That's a fact of life. Now, when life punches you in the gut, social media is not going to be able to help you. That's what mom, dad, sisters, brothers, cousins are for. Hey, I have a problem. I need to talk to someone.
That's right.
That doesn't mean you have to go see a professional person, but you just need to talk to your support system, the people that love you, that cares about you. We got 400 friends and not one of them knows what the color of your bathroom is at your house. That means they've never been to your house.
Right.
If they're your friend, they've been to your house. They've had dinner. They met your parents.
Candace, Greg, Chuck, I want to thank you guys for being on Tell It Like It Is, for providing that insight. I want to thank our audience for tuning in on 1300 AM, 106.5 FM, and for those who are doing the live on TalkAlabama.com. We'll have you can go back to the TalkAlabama.com and look at the full version today. And I want to thank our sponsors, Custom and Sweet, United States Marine Corps, Coca-Cola, and all of our education communities that are part of Tell It Like It Is. Till next week, take care.